President Trump is currently in Saudi Arabia, and I want you guys to take a look at this because I don't think we have seen a United States president treated with this much respect in a very, very long time. And to be fair, it is probably for good reason. I mean, our last president was, how do I say this politely? He could barely walk. He could barely talk. His mind wasn't all there. So, I mean, I guess if I was a foreign country, I probably wouldn't treat that with the utmost respect either. But I think seeing some of these videos coming out of President Trump's trip to the Middle East, I think it's fair to say that America is officially back. And I'm going to go over some of these clips as well as look into exactly why Donald Trump is in Saudi Arabia. He is there to generate investment deals for the United States, something that we desperately need. But this was posted on Dan Scavino's X page. He said, "Good morning from Air Force One, Saudi Arabia. Thank you for the escort and having President Trump's back. We all appreciate it. See you on the ground shortly. Thank you." And he posted this photo, or this video rather, of Saudi Arabian jets escorting Air Force One above the Middle East. Very cool. 3 Saudi Arabian jets, yes. By the way, if you're wondering about my new setup here, it's because I am out of town. Yes, so this is my mobile setup, so the sound and everything might not be up to par like it usually is. So it's a little bit different, at least for today. But this is Trump over the Middle East, about to touch down into the country, and this is probably the coolest thing I saw. I guess this is probably one of my favorite videos I saw coming out of this whole trip to the Middle East, is they actually brought Donald Trump a mobile McDonald's restaurant. And I don't know if this was on the tarmac when he arrived, but I don't really think there's any other president that could say that they were brought a special restaurant for their visit to the United States. So that's pretty cool. It looks like almost like a semi that has the McDonald's logo, and it probably makes some pretty good Big Macs. That's all I got to say on that one. And then Donald Trump was greeted by a bunch of Saudi Arabian horses. I don't know if this is military, what exactly this is. I'm not an expert on Saudi Arabia. The only thing I really do know about Saudi Arabia is that they have a ton of money, a ton of oil money. But one thing you will notice is the prevalence of the American flag as they are riding down the street, which I think is a tremendous show of respect. So that is when Donald Trump arrived. He arrived in his Beast limo to greet the Saudi Arabian prince. I believe that's what they call him, the crown prince, maybe. But this is probably the best video that I saw out of this trip so far. And I think this shows you just kind of the level of respect that they are showing the United States now and President Trump. They actually had a live band perform the American national anthem, and I thought this was absolutely incredible. Take a look. Was a pretty great performance in Saudi Arabia of the American national anthem. You know, I think maybe some people in the United States should take heed to what they do there. You know, show our country a little more respect. And this is, I guess, kind of directed at the Democrat Party, because I don't believe that they really show our country that much respect. And when Donald Trump travels abroad, they show a lot more respect to our country than some of our actual parties do here in the United States. But this is why Donald Trump is currently in Saudi Arabia. Trump starts Gulf visit in Saudi Arabia, focus on mega economic deals. U.S. President Donald Trump began a tour of wealthy Gulf states on Tuesday by visiting oil power Saudi Arabia, with his focus on securing mega investment deals rather than resolving pressing security problems in the Middle East. Emerging from Air Force One on his first formal state with a who's who of U.S. business leaders, including Elon Musk, Trump punched the air in a show of solidarity as Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman greeted him on his arrival in Riyadh, that's how you say it, that's right. Trump will go on from Riyadh, who is hosting a Saudi-U.S. investment forum, to Qatar on Wednesday and the United Arab Emirates on Thursday. So a lot of you may have seen this by now, but apparently Qatar is gifting Donald Trump a mega jet. So I don't know what's going on between the United States and these Middle East nations, but I have nothing but good things, or I've seen nothing but good things so far. If we're being gifted a mega jet, what does that say for what's going to happen with investment in the United States? I'm going to say probably only good things. But he has not scheduled a stop to Israel, a decision that has raised questions about where the close ally stands in Washington priorities. Yeah, this is something that's also very interesting. So apparently Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu are kind of at odds right now because from what I hear, Donald Trump is not really happy with the way Benjamin Netanyahu is trying to manipulate the United States and to get it into some sort of conflict with Iran. And also, he's not happy with how Benjamin Netanyahu was communicating directly to Mike Waltz, the national security advisor, who was essentially fired. I know he was not technically fired, but they demoted him or they transferred him to a different position. But that is kind of the whispers that Donald Trump is not happy with what is going on or what went on there. And him and Netanyahu are really not the best friends right now. Quote, while energy remains a cornerstone of our relationship, the investments and business opportunities in the kingdom have expanded and multiplied many, many times over, Saudi investment minister Khalid Al-Falih said as he opened the forum. As a result, when Saudis and Americans join forces, very good things happen. More often than not, great things happen when those joint ventures happen. He said just before Trump's arrival, Trump hopes to secure trillions of dollars in investments from the Gulf oil producers. And I'll just say this, they have it. This is one of the richest countries in the entire world, and their money is just sitting there. I mean, what do they do with it? I mean, you've seen Dubai. What do? They build the tallest towers in the entire world. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that they do. And you see some of the stuff that these crown princes spend their money on. I remember reading a story about license plates in the Middle East. I think this was specifically Dubai, but when I think of the Middle East, I think of Saudi Arabia, Dubai, and all these different countries, just these countries that have a lot of oil. But these license plates, the lower number of license plates got more expensive. So if you had to say like a number 3 or 2, the 2 would be more expensive than number 3. And of course, the number 1 is the most expensive. They were paying tens of millions of dollars just for license plates. So that kind of shows you what money means to these people. It doesn't really mean that much because they have so much of it. So if it doesn't mean that much to them, I mean, by all means, invest in the United States. In a meeting at the royal court, Trump called the Saudi Arabia crown a prince a friend and said they have a good relationship, according to a poll report from the Wall Street Journal. Trump recalled traveling to the kingdom in 2017 and said Saudi investment could help create jobs. Big investments at the Saudi-U.S. Investment Forum at the front of a palatal hall. Larry Fink, the CEO of asset management firm BlackRock, and some other people were there. Stephen A. Schwartzman, CEO of asset manager Blackstone, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and Saudi Finance Minister Mohammed Al-Jadin and Falih. Musk chatted briefly with both Trump and the Crown Prince, who is otherwise known as MBS, during a palace reception for the U.S. president. And joining Trump for lunch was with MBS were top U.S. businessmen, including Musk, SpaceX chief, and Sam Altman, which is the OpenAI CEO, the AI company. MBS has focused on diversifying the kingdom's economy in a major reform program dubbed Vision 2030 that includes giga projects such as NEOM, a futuristic city the size of Belgium. Oil generated 62% of Saudi government revenue last year. Quote, about $1 billion of investment is being made in the frontier technologies, and obviously it is no surprise that the lion's shares of these investments has gone into United States companies. The kingdom has scaled back some of its ambitions as rising costs and falling oil prices weigh. Saudi Arabia and the United States have maintained strong ties for decades based on an ironclad arrangement in which the kingdom delivers oil and the superpower provides security in exchange. The MBS's ties with Trump have been smoother than with his predecessor, Joe Biden. So this is pretty obvious. You can kind of tell by the respect that they are showing President Trump. Did Joe Biden really even visit? I can't even remember. I have just kind of a jumble in my mind of when Joe Biden went overseas, and it was always like a giant flub. Their relationships were strained by the 2018 killing of Saudi commentator Jamal Khashoggi by Saudi agents in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. U.S. intelligence believed the killing was ordered by MBS. He denied involvement. And, you know, a lot of people, they have a problem with doing business in Saudi Arabia, and I 100% get it. I mean, when you look at this, it does appear that this journalist was killed in Saudi Arabia. But listen, our military, we build ships for Saudi Arabia. We actually build ships for Saudi Arabia. I mean, there's ships in Wisconsin right now that are currently being built for Saudi Arabia. And, I mean, that's kind of a crazy thing, but that's just the reality of the matter. Trump has said he may go on Thursday to Turkey for planned talks on Russia's war in Ukraine. He has also been pushing for a renewed aid mechanism for Gaza and urging Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to agree to a ceasefire deal there. So that is what's going on in Saudi Arabia currently. This is probably not a trip that Bibi Netanyahu is very happy about, but, you know, listen, if we generate some investment into the United States, I'm happy. I think that's fantastic. The economy here needs to recover from 4 years of a Biden administration, and really, I mean, the Obama administration. So Trump going overseas to represent the United States, generate investment into the United States, is good to see. It's good to see. And the respect shown to President Trump is fantastic to see as well. But what do you guys think? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. But until then, I'll see you on the next one.